Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is Live at the Flat in Greenwich Village, episode number 29. And I'm so glad today to have here one of the most amazing jazz musicians. Absolutely. That's right. Well, he's right here. Multi-instrumentalist genius, composer, arranger, band leader, and you can go on and on. And he looks like he's a very serious man, but very, how can I say, serious. But he can be very funny. And that's the one and only Scott Robinson.
So I hope I'm not too funny when I play.
Well, we'll see about that. But,
Good for laughs.
I had the chance to meet Scott the first time exactly 20 years ago. And that was, I remember clearly, it was at Marion's Jazz Room in Bern, Switzerland. And Scott was being featured there with the house band. Actually, Hans Zurbruggs, the owner of the club, had this fantastic Dixieland band, and Scott and also the great Duffy Jackson, who passed away not too long ago, was on drums. And I remember that concert, fantastic. And the morning after, we met in the breakfast room, and we had just a little talk. But of course, I was no one, and he was Scott Robinson. Then 1 year later, in 2002, I was very lucky to get to, I would say, a sort of turning point in my career, because I received the invitation from the great trombonist and band leader Dan Barrett to join, that's right, he deserves an applause, to join his international swing party in Ascona, Switzerland. And of course, I had the possibility to play with these American musicians, all the best ones. And Scott, of course, was there on saxophone and many other instruments. And since then, this has been a great friendship. And even though we don't get the chance to play together very often, but each time, I can assure you, it's just to me a joy and like a party. So thank you for being here, Scott.
Thanks for having me. I'm very happy to be here.
How have you been doing this last, I would say, 13 months?
Well, I've been doing pretty well in a way. I mean, what's been bad for me is just that I've lost so many friends and colleagues, a very large number of people, not just from COVID, but other reasons. It's been a terrible season of loss for me in that way. But as far as myself personally, my health has been good, my family is good, and I'm just working on music every day till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Wow, how about that?
5 o'clock last night, because I have a studio and my laboratory and all my instruments, and I'm a student all the time, so I'm working.
Yeah, I would say that probably the hardest part during this more than 1 year now of pandemic was to try not to lose the motivation to practice and to be all the time involved with music, because I know of many colleagues that they had problem this way. And I think as far as I'm concerned, thanks to Live at the Flat in Greenwich Village and the support that I received from colleagues like you and from this amazing audience, really that's what made it possible to get through all this time. So I never get tired to tell you once again, thank you. All right, so I think we can start playing a little bit of music.
Okay, good night, everybody.
So here we are. So I hope you enjoy it. And that's the magnificent one and only Scott Robinson.
Boy, do I love this guy. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You know,
Thank you.
it's...
I'm so happy to just play with a human.
That's
being.
exactly what this is all about, you know. And I'm amazed at the fact that, you know, we didn't rehearse this tune, and actually we decided to open with Tangerine just a few minutes before the show started. And that's the miracle of jazz. You know, you have this melody with chords and all the potential that it can open up. And so I just love it when a duet like that becomes really a conversation between instruments. And it feels so great when things happen at the same time, when you become aware of what each other is doing and try to make the elements into communicating with each other. All right, so I'm gonna, the second tune, this is a request that was due already last week, but I didn't manage to play it. And this is entitled P.S. I Love You, and was a request by our friend Ida Melrose. So I hope Ida is watching, and we'd like to play very much this tune and dedicate it to you, Ida. The title, as I said, is P.S. I Love You. And that was T.S. I Love You, dedicated to our friend Ida Melrose. All right, so I would like to continue now with one of the tunes that Scott brought here today, and this is what I call a good old one that's entitled Do You Ever Think of Me? That I believe it goes back to the 20s because Bix recorded it, right?
He didn't record it, but supposedly it's a tune that Bix liked to play at jam sessions.
Oh, I see.
That's the story I've heard, but he didn't actually record it.
Well, let's play it for our friends.
Okay.
All right? And you are watching Live at the Flat in Greenwich Village because that's where we are. Let's not forget that. All right?
Yeah, I was astonished to find out where you live.
Oh, you didn't know that?
You never invited me over before. He lives right by the Vanguard and Mesro and everything.
He didn't know that there is a flat in Greenwich Village.
Incredible, like up in the sky. We're up in the big time here.
Well, I don't know about that, but that's very kind of you. All right. Do you ever think of me?
What are we in, E flat?
Yeah. Such a control on the tenor on that high register. That's hard, right?
It's hard to play that where I can stand listening to it.
Well, my goodness. You know, I remember that when we played that year in Ascona, that was in 2002 the first time, I was also performing with some of my friends, Italians, with the big band. I think you guys were guests also with the big band in a couple of sets.
I love these guys that have memories.
But anyway, all the saxophone players used to come by when we played with Dan Barrett, and they were trying to figure out how did you get those high notes, because for them they said that you were using some kind of special fingering. Is that true?
These are your Italian friends? Well, yeah, I for some reason I got really into the high note thing when I was a little kid, and I came up with my own system, my own fingerings and everything, and I figured out how to play all these high notes when I was just, ninth grade or something like that. Yeah, I think it was around ninth grade. But then over the years, as I got better, as my ears developed, I began to realize that it sounded really horrible and very sharp, and so I changed everything. Actually, a lot of my fingerings went down. I shifted a lot of them down a half step.
Wow.
Because I realized I could play more in tune. So I'm still...
So it's a lot of adjusting with the lips.
Yeah, and with this, and it's a whole thing with the throat and everything. But I'm still working on it all the time. I'm still tweaking my system and changing it.
That's nice.
I'm still discovering new fingerings and new things because, I want it to sound good, hopefully.
And so now the people probably were surprised that in the middle of the tune you picked up another horn. Would you like to tell us?
Another bad idea.
No, that was a great. I love it, and I'm sure they got a kick out of it. So you want to tell us what is that? I thought it was a French horn.
No, it's shaped like a French horn, but it's actually very different. It's called a mellophone. I don't know why it's not that mellow sounding, but it's an E flat horn. It's an alto type of alto horn, and it's a different kind of bore and valve system than the French horn. It's very different, actually.
Wow, that sounds amazing. By the way, you should know that Scott Robinson has got an amazing collection of instruments, and among them there are very, very rare instruments, things that most people don't even know that exist, and he plays them all very, very well, incredible. So I wish there would be one time the chance to produce a big concert where you show up with everything on stage,
Well, I've done some.
You've done that?
I did a solo concert one time where I had timpani and marimba and all kinds of. I brought a whole VW Volkswagen bus full of instruments, set everything up. I had a microphone, clip-on microphone, and I narrated my wife's doctoral dissertation in mathematics.
Oh my goodness.
Called Computational Methods for the Exact Linearization and Observer Linearization Problems for Nonlinear Systems.
That's what I'm talking about. This is the communication between languages that we think that are far apart, like mathematics and music, but then there is a way, of course, to bring them together, and probably that was an example of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think my version of the mathematics would have withstood the scrutiny of her doctoral advisors, but we had a lot of fun with it.
That's nice. That's nice. I remember, sorry if I talk too much, but I gotta say a few things. I remember when I was in high school, we had a teacher of Italian literature that no matter how good you would do your dissertation on a certain subject, she would never give you the maximum grade. So one time I said, I gotta ask her, what are we supposed to do to get the highest grade? And she said something that I never forgot. She said, if you next time will bring your dissertation on a certain subject, and you'll be able in a very organic way to put in relation the subject of Italian literature, but with also history and geography and philosophy, and then you show a way to communicate through all these different disciplines, then you might get. And so I found out that this was a great advice and is one of a lifetime suggestions, because especially in the arts, I see now more than ever, we gotta find a way to bring things together in an unexpected way. And that's a way to make our creativity work and a way to have chances, because I found out that unless you don't come up with your own specialty that is different from someone else, then there isn't much chances to make it into this musical world. What do you think?
Well, you can make it as a working musician, there's all kinds of jobs for, well, not right now, but, Broadway, and musicians can do all kinds of things without being really creative musicians. But those of us who are driven in that creative way are never going to be satisfied with it.
That's right, that's also true. Anyway, let's keep going with our program, and there is a song that I love very much, and I know that it's one of Scott's favorite. By the way, this song was featured in your last, one of the newest albums, 10 or more, on Argos Records, and this is called The Good Life. So, and I would like to make a special dedication with this tune, because few days ago, we lost in Italy a very important jazz piano player and composer. His name was Amedeo Tommasi, that I never had the pleasure to meet personally, but in the last few months we became friends, believe it or not, on Facebook. And so every now and then we would drop a line to each other. And so I even told him I can't wait to be back to Italy, because the first time that I come to Rome, I want us to get together. And of course, that will never happen now.
What happened to him?
He passed away. I'm not sure yet for which reason, but because it was just 4 days ago. But yeah, that's
There's a lot of that going around.
that's right. It's unbelievable.
I lost a friend in Italy too, Fausto Oricchio,
That's right.
who got me the giant 7-foot saxophone I have in my laboratory. We just lost him.
So I'm gonna say this in Italian. Prima di tutto, amici, è un piacere essere qui con voi, con il grande Scott Robinson, e vorremmo suonare adesso un brano che si intitola It's the Good Life, e vorremmo dedicarlo al grande pianista italiano che è recentemente scomparso, Amedeo Tommasi. It's the Good Life. Yeah, that was It's a Good Life, dedicated to the memory of the great Amedeo Tommasi.
Yeah. Can we dedicate that also to my friend Fausto?
Of course, and Fausto. And Fausto. So,
please.
Fausto Oricio.
Yeah, Fausto.
So, Scott in Italian.
Yeah.
Scott aveva un carissimo amico in Italia, was he an antique dealer? Che era un antiquario, ed è stato la persona che ha aiutato Scott ad ottenere il suo sassofono contrabbasso, che è uno strumento rarissimo. Fausto Oricio, che è da poco a Pasqua, Easter, that he passed away, right? È scomparso a causa del Covid nel periodo di Pasqua. E per cui con grande piacere noi dedichiamo questa bellissima melodia a questi due grandi personaggi che ora non sono più tra di noi.
Thank you.
Yeah. So,
Maybe we should do one of your tunes.
oh, that's a good idea. Wow.
Don't forget your tunes. Rossano's a composer too. Let's
So-
not forget that.
So, I have to tell you a story. Now, my friend, dear friend Joe Pedlowski, that I get to mention every week, and he's been a great supporter of Live the Fight in Greenwich Village. He's very active with requests, and he's wonderful. Joe, thank you so much for everything you do. So, he sent in a request for today. For a tune very famous that you all know, that is Bésame Mucho. But Joe, I don't want to disappoint you, because I think I'm gonna wait for one of the next few weeks to play Bésame Mucho, because
He doesn't trust me.
no. Yes. But what I would like to play for you, and I have to tell the story. So what happened a few weeks ago, Sally Fine, that is Joe's girlfriend, she wrote me an email and said, it's approaching Joe's birthday, so why don't you compose a tune, and then you'll make a video, put it into a USB stick, and then we'll give it to Joe for his birthday. And so that's what we did, and I came up with this melody that I entitled It's Sunny in Cape Cod. Of course, Joe lives in Cape Cod, and that's where we met, and that's basically where we see each other every time I got the chance to play in Cape Cod. And so, Joe, I would like to play this for you. I would like to make it public, and also the fact that whenever I get the chance to have someone like Scott Robinson, or in the past Harry Allen, I enjoy very much to hear the way they interpret my own music.
You say that now.
No. So here we go. I hope you enjoy this. That's for Joe Pedlowski. It's Sunny in Cape Cod.
So is this the world premiere?
The world premiere. That's right. Believe
Wow.
it. So you better
Now I'm
not.
nervous.
You better not screw it up.
Oh man.
It's Sunny in Cape Cod. My own tune, incredibly interpreted by Scott Robinson. Wow, that's what I'm talking about, man. I think it's very therapeutic, almost, to compose music and then listening to someone else playing your own piece, because all of a sudden you are aware of some different light that can come into play with your own music.
It happens to me too.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So that's great. Well, the time is almost over. It's been a great pleasure and a great honor to have here Scott Robinson, who can, I can tell you that you're going to be back, because this was so much fun.
I passed the audition. I'll be back next week. I'm not going to let anybody else sit in this chair.
Well, actually,
it's my chair now.
Actually, I want
taking
to
this home with me.
Well, maybe not next week, because I've got it already planned, and I'm gonna.
You can change that. Change that.
All right. Well, but you'll be back for sure. So, I wanted to make an announcement, because next week, next Sunday, it will be episode number 30. And so that gives us another opportunity for a celebration. And I'm thinking to what you told me today, that Dennis McCrell said that...
I was just thinking the same thing.
Dennis McCrell, that is our friend, great drummer, he said, make every day like your birthday. And so that's really, I try to make every appointment here live at the flat in Greenwich Village with a reason for celebration. So anyway, next week will be the 30th episode, and I'm very thrilled to announce that one of the greatest rhythm section in the world, one of the most celebrated rhythm section in the world, will be here to join me. And I'm talking about the phenomenal bass player Peter Washington and the great drummer Kenny Washington. So I'm very...
You don't need me, I guess.
No, well, if you want to come by, man, you can come by and join us. You know, everybody. I'm going to say this. All the musicians that have been part of Live at the Flat in Greenwich Village, you guys are always welcome to come by here on Sunday and just come in. Just make sure you come in a few minutes before 5, because then the show is on and I cannot answer the door, you know. But anyway, so this is really an invitation, because now that most of us are vaccinated, so we can allow us really to have parties. So next week with the great Peter Washington and Kenny Washington. Also, I'd like to remind you that Live at the Flat in Greenwich Village has been able to continue all these weeks, 30 weeks, thanks to your incredible generosity. So I'd like to remind you that if you can, if you have the possibility, if your finances allow it, please consider sending a donation. And if you don't have the possibility, or you don't want to send a donation, we still hope that this music brought some happiness and some light into your lives, because that's what counts the most, especially during these last 13 months. All right, and we are gonna close the concert with another request that comes from a friend all the way from France, Philippe Cogno, I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, that he requested another good old classic that probably you heard, the famous recording of Benny Goodman with his historic quartet, and that's Runnin Wild. Ready? And once again, Scott Robinson. All right, so you so much.
Anybody heard?
The one and only Scott Robinson, and
Thank
this
you,
is
thanks.
Scott. Has been a blast. Thank you so much.
Rossano Sportiello, great guy, great musician, great friend. Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
And see you next Sunday with special guests Kenny Washington and Peter Washington.
Yeah.
I love you all. Thank you.
Stay
Ciao.
well, everybody. Thank you. Stay well.
Ciao.